Welcome, Golfaholics, to another edition of Back Nine Report. I'm very happy to have my good friend Jerry Coyne subbing in for Carlos today. Jerry is a fellow golfaholic as well as the host of Finding Fairways that can be heard every week during the summer on WGRY FM Radio 101.1. Jerry, welcome to Back Nine Report.
Well, Fred, I'm honored. I've only had you on my show for the last 6 years. So it must have been a really bad, what was I, like 19th on the list before your
Well,
aunt?
let's just say you were on the list, okay? You're on the short list. How about that? How about that? Jerry, even though it's late in the year, we've only got one more week left in the regular PGA Tour season. There's a lot of golf news, a lot of stuff going on, and we want to kind of touch base on today. First thing up is the BMW Championship that was just completed last week. Wyndham Clark got the win. He gutted it out on Sunday. Rory McIlroy was nipping at his heels for a while. A couple other guys that fell back late. But he's making a bid for Player of the Year over Scotty by winning the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. As I mentioned, Rory was in the final group with Wyndham Clark on Sunday. He had a chance to win, but he gagged it up on the back nine, missed too many fairways on the difficult Bell Reed course. And Scotty was sick. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what do you think about Wyndham Clark's win at the BMW?
Well, there's a lot to look at, Fred. The main thing that pops out is that when Wyndham Clark's putter is hot, get the hell out of the way. The way he putted on the back nine on Saturday was scary. And, he didn't miss many of his putts on Sunday. That's what's kind of stalled him out and allowed Rory to get into the mix. I'll tell you, though, Rory missed that putt on 16 that would have put him ahead. He did not miss that putt by much. That was a game changer. And then he screws up 17 really badly.
Big time,
Wyndham makes the putt, and the whole thing is a different shooting match. Like I said, when Clark switched to that new putter, and he's been a completely different player.
Yeah, for sure. Scotty Scheffler, he had the big win the week before at Memphis, but he started out really poorly on Thursday, couldn't get it going, and come to find out, he's battling hoof and mouth issues. He had blisters in his hands, blisters in his throat.
Yeah.
Affected what he was doing. He said he thought about withdrawing, but he didn't want to. He gutted it out. He turned it into something. He played pretty well, really, on Saturday and Sunday. If he could have done anything on Thursday, he would have been in the mix as well. But I still, we talked about this on your show a couple weeks ago. I still have Scotty as the Player of the Year. I don't care what happens this week. Maybe if Wyndham wins, he might get a shout out. But I still have Scotty as Player of the Year. What's your thoughts?
Well, I think there's a couple opportunities here. Yes, if Wyndham wins, he's Player of the Year. That's it. If Rory wins, it's interesting, especially if he wins in a runaway, which he has done at Eastlake before. He loves that golf course. The other person, and you brought him up, he didn't play that great, but Matthew Fitzpatrick, if he wins, that's 4 wins in the Tour Championship. So I think it gets really interesting if any of those other guys win. It's got to be Rory's got to win in a runaway. He can't win by one shot. He's got to dominate the field like Scotty did a couple of weeks ago in Memphis. But I think there's 4 guys that could still win Player of the Year.
Very good. He hasn't won Player of the Year. He's already a big winner. He got a $10 million bonus after the regular season for being number 1 in the FedEx Cup standings. Then this week he picked up another $22 million for being number 1 after the BMW, plus the prize money that he pocketed. So he's having a pretty good year. I don't care if he's Player of the Year or not. In his mind, he's a big winner.
Yeah, there's a few big winners, but yeah, you know who I think the big winner is this year is Gary Woodland. I mean, the PGA Tour needs a guy like Gary Woodland. He's so
good story.
What a feel-good story. I know we're going to talk about it later, and I don't want to skip over your notes, but he should be on the President's Cup team. That that would be a reward for, and how gratifying would it be to Gary to play on a team he's never played on one before? Uh, what a I I don't know what to say about the guy. I get choked up when he gets choked up. I understand.
He's
Uh,
still having
per,
issues, Jerry. I mean,
yeah.
he gets anxiety attacks, and they just overtake him, and he's learned how to calm himself down on the court. You see him put his hand on his heart. That helps calm him down, and get back in the situation.
Well, the brain surgery that he got has brought on PTSD, and usually it's a battlement ailment, a battle ailment, but he has gotten it. That's why if you see him walking, he's always talking with the security guards and everything else. He's always interested in what other people are thinking and doing around him. He said that on Saturday, the reason why he got out of sync, Fred, is that the drones and everything, where the noise was starting to bother him. He learned how to embrace it on Sunday, but can can you imagine? All credit to him. He hits that. He gets within one, tops that ball into the creek.
Yeah,
No player has ever been in that creek before, Fred.
yeah. And he said he had topped a shot for years and years and years. But I mean, stuff like that happens once in a while on a golf course. You go, where did that come from? But
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, let's move on to the next up this week is the Tour Championship, the final event of the 26 PGA Tour season. It's at East Lake. We've got this year and next year that they're going to play there. Only the top 30 get in. With a T4 at the BMW, Woodland moved from outside the top 30 into number 18, so he's in the Tour Championship. Patrick Cantley went from 41 to 19, so he's in. He had a chance to win actually last week, but kind of faltered over the last couple of holes. Robert McIntyre made a big move from 36 up to
Yeah, he
25,
did.
so he's in
Yeah.
with a T7 to BMW. But then there's a few guys. The Ryan Fox, the Open Championship, he's right at number 30. He just got in by the hair of his
Yeah. By the
chin.
skin of his, you know what?
Yeah. Key names out of East Lake: Ricky Fowler, Matt McNeely, Ben Griffin, and Justin Thomas. Any thoughts on the Tour Championship this week?
Well, again, yeah, great playing by Gary to get in there. He's only played in it one other time. That was the year he won the U.S. Open. You're right, Cantley. Cantley has historically played great in the BMW, no matter where it is. I don't know what that is about him. He still hasn't won in years, but good for him. It'll probably raise his standing for the President's Cup. I know you don't like him as a team player. We've talked about Patrick before. Um, the Sungjae Im blew it out. He was well within. He started on Sunday at 26 and dropped out. I saw the beginning of Ricky's day on Sunday, and he makes a double on the first hole. Justin Thomas, to me, is probably the biggest head scratcher of them all, although he did, like Sungjae, miss a number of events in the beginning of the year. Neither of them started their season until Bay Hill. That put them a little bit behind the eight ball. But, man, with Jordan and Justin, it's just hard. We've talked about it before, about the family commitments and all the other stuff. But you're talking about two of the shining lights of American golf in the last 10 years. And it's hard to figure out what the heck's going on with them.
They get a certain age and they get kids and they got other stuff in their life, Jerry. You know how that goes.
They also got generational money. They don't have to pick up
Exactly.
a club again.
Exactly.
No, even when Jack and Arnie were at the top of their games, Fred, they had to play all the time with the purses, with what they are, and Mike McCormick finally finding generational wealth in other avenues for Arnold Palmer. It's just not the same game for these guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. I'm just praying for Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler final group on Sunday. That's what I want to see.
Well, there's a couple of interesting, or Wyndham Clark and Scotty. I mean, they both give Clark credit. when he won the U.S. Open, he played in the last group with Scotty breathing down his neck, and he opened that up, and he was able to withstand a little pressure from Rory. So, either way, I think I don't know if you've seen the golf course yet, Fred. Have you ever played East Lake?
Have not, no.
I've played it a number of times. I've been lucky enough to. It's fantastic. I've not played it since the last redo, but they have not had a ton of rain in Atlanta, and that course is going to be really firm and really fast. And I think it's going to be a nightmare for some of these players. Those greens are brutal to begin with, and it could be an adventure coming up this Thursday and Friday.
One of the things I forgot to mention about the BMW, we had not seen Belle Reve for about 8 years, and I just did not remember it being that difficult. It is a really, really long, difficult, great big greens. If you're on a green, you're still 3, 4 putts away. I mean, just hitting the green is not a guarantee of a par. It's a really, really tough golf course. I was impressed with it.
They took out the right amount of trees. There was still a lot of trees there. I agree with you. What did they add? Like over almost 2,000 yards in length.
It's big.
Yeah,
big
that's
place.
a lot of yardage.
Yeah.
It's a big boy golf course now. That's for sure.
So the 6 guys earned their spots on the President's Cup team. And those are Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Russell Henley, and Colin Morikawa. So that's coming up here at the end of September. And after this week, Captain Snedeker, is going to pick his next 6. And so we talked a little bit about that on your show. The next 6 right now, Jerry, are Chris Gotterup, Ben Griffin, Xander Schauffele, J.J. Spaun, Justin Thomas, Jacob Bridgman. So after, and I made the point on your show that I would like to see one of the young guys, Jackson Koiven, Michael Brennan, or Michael Thorbjornsen, who won the last 3 tournaments of the year. Those guys all look really good to me, especially Koiven. I think I'd want him on the team. And so given this, then like you say, we've got right after the top 12, you've got Cantley, Akshay Bhatia, and Mav Neely. I think giving Justin Thomas's performance, I don't know that I would pick him for the President's Cup team or Jacob Bridgman. I might pick a couple other guys after I've seen them this week. What's your thoughts?
Well, like I said, I would put Gary Woodland on that team. Unless he has a complete meltdown at East Lake, I would put him on the team for a number of reasons. But I'm kind of with you. I think that it's a good idea. We know what Justin Thomas is going to be. Gotterup definitely needs to be on the team. But I wouldn't mind put some of the younger guys on to see how they stack up in those kind of matches. And then you have a little window into the Ryder Cup, because I don't think there's much of a chance that the international team is going to beat the Americans at a newly redone Medina. Although I guess Jeff Ogilvy redid the golf course, so who knows?
Yeah, I think the only guy in the top 10 is Siwoo Kim, right? I think. And you've got 6 guys from the American team that are in the top 10 on World
Oh, yeah.
Golf. So
no, you made a good point on my show. They have got, if they're going to make this fair, they've got to go back to the exact Ryder Cup format so you can hide a couple of these international guys until match play at the finals.
The singles.
Yeah. It's that was a great point that I hadn't thought of before. So
yeah, everybody plays the President's Cup.
Yep.
So the President's Cup is going to be September 22nd through 27th at Medina. I'm planning on going out there for a couple days and checking it out. I like to see Medina. I've not been there, so I'm going to look it over. But also coming up here sooner is the Solheim Cup, and the Solheim Cup teams just got completed. It's going to be in the Netherlands at Bernardus on September 7th through the 13th. Captain Angela Stanford, the American captain, brings experience as a leader. And she's got, excuse me, Kristen McPherson, Paula Kramer, and Brittany Lang as her assistants. All have experience in this kind of competition. The U.S. team currently leads the series 11-7-1, but the Europeans have won 2 of the last 4, plus they tied 1. And the Americans have not won on European soil since 2017, Jerry. What are you thinking about the soil cup? You got any thoughts on the Solheim Cup?
Yeah, I think we need some better American players. It's um, uh, name the top six American women. I don't think I can't.
Nelly Korda, Angel Yin, who's been hurt and not even sure if she's going to play,
Yeah,
Jennifer Kupcho, Yelemi Noah, Austin Kim, Lauren Coughlin, Allison Corpuz, Andrea Lee, and Allison Lee. Andrea Lee and Allison Lee. Allison Corpuz always just amazed me. You never see her on TV. You never see her doing anything, and she's always right up there. She's like Chucky Three Sticks was. She just cashes checks, man. She's always in the top 15 or 20, but you never see her on the leaderboard.
you know.
Right where you said the Solheim Cup.
Well, I think the women on both sides. We need to add some personality into this tournament. You know, uh, we had great players, with Annika and Julie Inkster and Meg Mallon. All these gals played with verve and courage, and it just seems to be lacking now. There doesn't seem to be, there's no fist pumping. You don't see any real emotional golf during the Solheim Cup anymore.
Well, that's one of the reasons Stanford gave for picking Megan Kang with one of her picks. It's her fifth Solheim. She has an overall record of 7-3-3. She's really good in the Solheim, but she's their emotional leader. For a European hosted Solheim Cup, she really wanted that high energy player like Kang to help bring the pizzazz to the team a little bit. Another pick was Rose Zhang. This is her third Solheim. She's seen the good and the bad. She went 0-3-1 in Spain in her first one, but she was 4-0 last time in Virginia.
Yeah.
She really led the team.
What has happened to her, Fred? My God, she
Well,
was
she battled
she.
some injuries early in the year, she said. I watched her interview, and she feels like she's back playing where she wants to. Plus, she graduated from Stanford. She's been going to school and finish her college and playing. So, kind of give her a little bit of grace for that, maybe. Lindy Duncan, who I really was not even familiar with, to be quite honest with you. This is her first Solheim Cup. She has been a pro since 2013. She's seen the depths and despair in golf, even thought about quitting at one point after making an 8 on the final hole of the 2022 Q Series to regain her LPGA Tour membership. She struggled with severe mental insecurity issues. So she's seen the worst of the game. And she said she's just had to adapt a mindset. She's had to just drill in her head to accept the joy in everything and not worry about missing that putt or hitting a bad shot. She's got to find the joy or it affects her mind.
She could send me that book or that pill because I could certainly use it.
It's all that self-talk. Oh, you
Yeah.
dummy. What? Yeah.
You played enough. You played with me.
I've been there. So let's go on. Let's move on here. Let's talk a little bit about the European team. I'm just going to go through this real quick here. It's captained by Anna Nordquist. Her assistants, Carolyn Headwall, Mel Reed, and Annie Van Dam. She had 8 automatic qualifiers. Charlie Hall, Esther Henselot, Lottie Woad, Maja Stark, Celine Boutier, Carlotta Saganda, Lynn Grant, Nana Kortsmet. We know those names. Those are names we know. Okay. I think
Charlie Hull has got some personality. You know what?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't mean just the way she looks, but she's got moxie. She's a cigarette smoker. She's aggressive. She's like the female Arnold Palmer. Hard not to look at her.
I got to interview her when she was 17 in Turkey, actually.
Wow.
She'd had the 5 runner-ups on the LET. Was only 17 years old. She was tearing it up. But great interview. I talked to her father at length. What a great guy. What a great story. But her picks, Leona Maguire, who's a lot of experience, pretty much beat the U.S. team by herself at Inverness a few years ago.
Wasn't she already a captain for them?
Leona Maguire? No.
Okay.
Julia Lopez Ramirez, Natasha Nadud, Mimi Rhodes. Those people I don't really know except for Leona Maguire, but they got a strong team, man. I see them kicking the American butt all over the place.
Well, that's not good. And the other thing, Kevin Frisch is how big he is on getting the international women involved in this. Maybe the U.S. and Europe should team up and take on Asia and change the whole tenor of this thing. But it just seems to me it's not nearly as big when you had bigger names like Annika. Annika got more press by almost winning at Barton Hills, the Women's Senior Open.
Yeah,
And Julie Inkster played and everything else. There wouldn't even be a Women's Senior Open on TV if it weren't for these great names,
absolutely.
from 25 years ago.
And we got to give a little credit to our good friends down at French Lick. They started this tournament. They started the PGA, the women's PGA, the senior. They were the
Yeah.
first to do it, and then a year later, the USGA picked up the ball and started the US Senior Women's Open in Chicago. And it's been a really big hit. The women love playing in it. The Legends Tour, it's around. It's not really
Yeah.
a major deal, but the ladies get to play a little bit and they have a good time. And there's some great people to play there on those tours. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
good stuff.
crowds were great at Barton Hills. And I'll tell you what, you've played Barton Hills before.
I'm
Uh,
not well. I was just there this year actually a little bit. Yeah,
they really put some teeth into Barton Hills, man.
it's a great golf, great
It
Donald
is,
Ross
but I'm
golf.
telling you, I saw some of that coverage, and I'm like, oh boy, they made some of those holes a lot harder, dug out some bunkers, put some pin positions into tough places. I mean, what you're supposed to do for a major,
Yeah,
but that's just the whole thing, Fred. I just miss the personality, the moxie of the ladies that were playing when we first caught the attention. Other than Babe Zaharias 100 years ago.
Susan Pedersen, how much it meant to her and how tenacious she was playing. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah, it's just
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, it's just and I don't know how they're going to revive that. You need 10 more Charlie Halls.
Bernardus Golf Club in the Netherlands is hosting this event. As I mentioned, it's going to be September 7th through the 13th. Bernardus is 60 miles south of Amsterdam, privately owned, can be played by the public actually, and you don't pay green fees. You buy a day membership. It
Okay,
gives you access to the spa, the restaurant, all the amenities of the club. The course opened in 2018, designed by Kyle Phillips, who also did King's Barnes. Okay, so he's got some pretty
you've
good
played
stuff on his.
there.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good stuff on his resume.
Yeah,
So, Jerry, final thought. I don't see this especially strong American team. I think it will be difficult for the USA to win the Solheim Cup back in the Netherlands. Agree or disagree?
100%. You know, Corda's gonna have to play some serious golf. It's like too bad her sister doesn't play anymore. Great to see them both out there. I think that adds a little bit more of an emotional component to things. So yeah, Fred, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'll watch too much of it. The other thing that I think is missing is if you're going to play it on it. Play it at a great track in Ireland or some other place that people want to see the golf. I'm excited about the Irish Open coming up in a couple of weeks. They're playing at Doonbeg.
Love Doonbeg.
Yeah,
Love it.
you know,
People won't like
Trump
it
getting
because it's a Trump course, but it is a great golf course. Martin, I can't think of his last name. The same guy that does all the work at St. Andrews, actually at the old course, he redid it. Greg
it's
Norman made
originally an
it
Arnold course, right? Arnold built it originally,
no, Greg
or
Norman.
Norman did. Greg
It
Norman,
was
yeah.
way too hard. He made it way too difficult. People complained they wouldn't play it. When Trump bought it, he got the guy to come in and redo it, and it's wonderful. I played it a couple of years ago. It's wonderful. Hey, one sad thing I want to just touch base on, Jerry, before I let you go. It came out this week that former PGA Tour Commissioner Tim Fincham revealed that he is struggling with Alzheimer's. He was the PGA Tour Commissioner for 22 years and was at the helm through its biggest growth. He was lucky enough to be commissioner when Tiger Woods was in his heyday.
Yeah,
Used
that was a
TW's
big help.
popularity, yep, to drastic. But he knew what to do with it, right? It's not like the WNBA with Caitlin Clark. They got no clue. They want to try and rip her head off. No, the tour embraced Tiger. and said, we got something here. People want to see him play. And so he used that popularity to build the tour, raise purses, increase sponsorship requirements. Also, a big believer in the charitable aspect of the PGA Tour. Grew it to over a billion, 2 billion. Now, total charities contributions over the years, 4 billion. He was instrumental in starting the first tee program. He got $213 million to get that thing going. Plus, he started the President's Cup and the FedEx Cup. So he did a fantastic job. And it came out also that he and his wife are donating $3 million to revive the PGA Tour Charities program. And that's going to be kind of relaunched in 2028. So good for him. Bad for the fact that he's going through this. It's unfortunate. I read some stuff about where his buddies take him to the golf course, and he still can play a little bit, and he kind of remembers the holes a little bit, but I guess he's really struggling with it, Jerry.
Yeah, Alzheimer is a monster, and I don't want to denigrate Tim Finchem at all. The charitable aspect of what he brought to golf is probably his biggest legacy, if you ask me, because before Finchem, there was little pockets of the Thunderbirds and everything else, and he made that a mandate for every single weekly event, and God bless him for that. I think he was a kind of a cold-hearted son of a bitch in a lot of different ways. And because of his battles with Greg Norman, eventually that's what led to Live. Him not, yes, he brought in the President's Cup after he turned Norman down on making the tour more international.
The World Cup events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, everybody's going to make some mistakes in a career, but, I hope Tim has an easy ride into retirement, and God bless him.
Well, that wraps up another edition of the Back Nine Report. And we want to thank our good friend Jerry Coyne for coming on and talking with us today. And Jerry, blast having you here, and hope you have a great week this week.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to enjoy the Tour Championship. And, Fred, you and I, this is our time to play golf. We're too damn busy until the end in the fall. And so hopefully we get a chance to tee it up before the snow flies.
Sounds good to me, bud. We'll see you.